Yeah, I'm gonna start now.
All right.
What is up, B? Happy Saturday night. Excuse the heavy breathing. I had a toilet overflow on me about 20 minutes ago, so I had to tend to the emergency. So my apologies for being a couple minutes late. I got 4 Train Express, Big Mike Mazzy in the house with me. Hope you're all doing well. Looks like he's got his fatigues on too. So where you at right now, dude?
I am actually at work, but I always have time and always can make time to spend with you guys because I enjoy doing this and I enjoy spending time with all of you guys. So I always have time to do it.
We appreciate it, man. We love having you on too, man. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing safe too, man. Happy New Year to everybody. Lorenzo says he can't see me on his end. Can everybody see me? Can everybody see 4 Train? I want to make sure that everybody can see us. I don't want you to miss these two handsome dudes, so you know what I mean. That's right, baby. Good. Buckeyes in the house. Yes, thank you for your service, Mazza. Always, bro. Always.
Yep.
And anybody on here that served, man, and thank you. Any and everybody. Now, got many. You can see me, okay, Lorenzo. Good. Can you hear me well? Can you hear 4 Train well? Let me know if you can hear us too. This is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for fire. This is for fire. Oh yeah. There you go, D-Russ. Sir, the weapon's name is Charlene.
That was a great movie too.
Fantastic movie. Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket. That opening scene where he goes off on that rant and he just completely goes off on all the recruits is just absolutely great.
You know, he was a drill sergeant. He was a drill sergeant in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a gunnery. He was a gunny, I should say. Yeah, he was an actual gunny.
Yeah, man. Arlie Ermy. Guy's a legend. Legend.
He is a legend in his own right.
Yes, he is. Happy New Year to everybody. Wait a minute. So let me see the Mets. So the Mets max offer. Oh, no, wait a minute. We have an offer here for Correa from the Mets. Blue Devils. What do you got here? Let me look this up. Have you heard this before, Trent?
So Aiden was talking about this. They got it from MLB Scoops. Now I checked MLB Scoops on Twitter, but they don't have the blue check mark next to them, so I'm a little skeptical on it.
Yeah.
Now, if that is true and that is an actual offer, then okay. But I like to hear it from guys like Jeff Passan or someone.
Yeah, and I want to see it on MLBTradeRumors.com too, because that's generally the gospel of it.
That's what I like to see. I like to see it on MLB Trade Rumors as well. But
yeah, that corroborates sources.
But I did hear though that the Twins are back in contention for him to try to steal him from the Mets. That I have heard.
And the Mets are frustrated and actually considering walking away. Texas Buckeye, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. Appreciate that, man. Always. That would be nice. Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet on Correa, but we're just hearing more stuff that other teams are back in the bidding. Twins, potentially the Braves, I'm hearing too.
I've heard the Braves too. I've heard the Braves, the Twins, and the Mets are the 3 teams right now that are heavily involved. The Mets are still trying to work out the kinks due to his failed physical, his second failed physical. It's not the first time he's failed one.
Yep.
So I think that's going to hurt the years that he's going to get. The average annual value, do I think it's going to hurt it? Not really. I think it's more or less the years that's going to get hurt, not the actual dollar value.
I agree, 100%. Oh, and this Brian Daly brings up Yankees should have gotten. So if anybody hasn't heard, the Phillies acquired Gregory Soto, the left-handed reliever. We've been talking probably a month now. So they got him and Cody Clements, Roger's son, for a couple of backup infielders and a backup catcher. So
that was a steal for them.
Yeah, this looks like the Phillies are probably not. I mean, the key piece was great. So, and they already brought in Craig Kimbrell last week.
Yep.
And they're one of the winners. I mean, they got Trey Turner. They got Taijuan Walker. They had a pretty big offseason.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, they pretty much.
They really won the offseason in the National League. If you look at all things in perspective and just look at everything where they stand,
yep.
Phillies really won the offseason in the National League.
Yeah, definitely in the National League. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think they had a better offseason than the Mets.
Yeah.
As
good as an offseason as the Mets did have, bringing in Turner, bringing in Soto, Kimbrel, and all that bullpen help, they really upgraded that team.
And they took one of the Mets starters too. So
yep.
And despite, he does give up some walks, but that's why I think a good pitching coach and filling a good pitching coach like Matt Blake would have probably done a good job with him, kind of working on his mechanics and turned him into something better, just like they did with Clay Holmes, Wandy Peralta, and a lot of these other guys.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he would have been a good fit for Matt Blake.
I agree. I thought that too, but I guess, they didn't want to go out and do that because maybe they have something else up their sleeve. And now before we went live, there was something that the chat and I were talking about earlier. And actually, it was Hayden and myself. So I want to give Hayden props for this because he brought up a great point.
Shout out Hayden. Like Backstage Baseball. Happy 13th.
Yeah. Backstage. Happy 13th, bud.
Yeah.
But Hayden brought up a very interesting name. Garrett Crochet of the White Sox.
So somebody just brought that up right here. Hold on a second. Let me put that up. Jonathan, here there could be a trade involving Torres and Garrett Crochet.
That I've heard. I've heard that.
I heard Liam Hendricks as part of a trade for Torres. I wasn't sure if it's straight up or it's Hendricks and Crochet. I don't know.
I don't know if it was Hendricks and Crochet, but I know that they were talking about Hendricks, but I've also heard that they're talking about throwing Torres to the White Sox for Garrett Crochet. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a straight up kind of thing, though.
I don't know. I mean, does he have several controllable years? I mean, Soto had that.
He's 22. Give me 1 second and I'll look him up for you. Garrett Crochet. Give me 1 second.
Mythical, what will happen with Efros? Efros is going to miss the year because he had Tommy John at the end of the season, so he'll be back in 2024, and he's not a free agent until 2028. So he still has 4 seasons here with the Yankees before free agency. He's in pre-arb right now, which is a good thing, so he doesn't have to rush back from TJ. No.
All right, Jason. So this is the line for Garrett Crochet. He's a 6'6", 230-pound lefty. Okay, he tops out at 100, 101. He can even top out at 102 if he so feels like it, because it's Garrett Crochet. Yeah. He is not a free agent until 2027. So his arbitration years are 24, 25, and 26. And then he is a free agent in 27. So that gives us 4 controllable years of Garrett Crochet at the back end of that bullpen.
And they're building him up as a starter on a bullpen. Okay, bullpen.
Here, I can show you. There you go.
Okay. Garrett Crochet, yep. Good. It's an intriguing option too. That's the type of guy that I think we need to move Torres for if they're going to move Torres.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to be moved in a package for Pittsburgh, unfortunately.
No. Now if they want Torres for some reason, right? Then, then they better be throwing in Bednar in that deal, because I'm not just giving up Torres for a Reynolds. You're not doing that.
No, yeah.
And I had said in the chat earlier, with Manaea and Sabian now in the fold, they're going to help Cashman make that deal for Reynolds. And I think that was part of what they were getting at when they said something bigger.
Leveraging relationships and experience. They're going to provide balance and experience. And by the way, hit the like button, everybody. Let's get to 150 likes as quickly as we can. I appreciate that. I think, it's going to balance out an analytically obsessed organization right now. And I think bringing in experience, good eye for scouting, player development, drafting, and they're going to bring relationships. So it's going to provide a nice balance. I don't think it's going to replace analytics. Cashman even said it the other day. They're not going to completely abandon analytics, and why would they? But using it better, these guys, I think, will help them pinpoint where to use analytics and where not to use it. So,
mind you, Sabian was with the Giants for those championship years, so he's got the idea and the grasp of what they need to do.
Yeah.
Manaea was with the Mets for the years that they were winning before they went downhill, and he also has that idea. And both of them are very smart baseball minds.
Mm-hmm. And like I said the other day, if we're going to give Sabian credit for the dynasty in San Francisco, I think it's important to give Cashman some credit for the dynasty in New York. It's not only Stick Michael.
Yes.
Okay. And Stick Michael did some things, Sabian did some things, but how many people think the core 4 would have actually won all those titles without the guys that Cashman brought in to help them? I don't think they would have won 98, 99, and 2000. I just don't. Not without David Wells and the rest of them, El Duque, Scott Brocious, Clements, all the guys that they brought in, they were key parts of the whole thing. So
David Justice. Don't talk about David Justice, but David Justice was a key part to that.
Yep, in 2000. Hit that big home run off Arthur Rhodes to put him in the Subway Series.
Did.
That's right. So it's guys like that where underrated moves. by cash. I mean, it's just, and again, I'm not taking away anything from Gene Michael, but I don't want to stiff Brian Cashman because there's so many folks say it's all Gene Michael. It's not all Gene Michael.
No, it's not.
Cashman was part of that essentially the back end of this dynasty, putting the other pieces together. So, and stick with the drafting. So did Sabian, the scouting, all that stuff. They helped, but Cashman helped on the other end. So, and it's important, I think, to recognize that. So
I agree.
that's why I do it. That doesn't mean we're on the Cashman bandwagon, but I think it's important to give credit when it's due.
No, absolutely. Give me 1 second.
Nicky Matsui also, yep. I mean, he drafted Aaron Judge. He brought in CeCe Sabathia. He brought in Teixeira, Nick Swifter. All these guys, AJ Burnett. Those are all Cashman signings.
I just want to put something in perspective here. If AJ Burnett did not pitch the game of his life in Game 2 of that World Series, we probably don't win that series.
Yeah, true. So true. Oh, Mike Mussina too.
Yeah.
Mike Mussina, Jason Giambi, all those were Cashman signees. So again, I don't know why it's such a problem to give Cashman credit for those things. There's so many people that just hate Cashman so much.
Yeah.
It's
whatever.
It's
yeah.
It is what it is. But talking about Brian Reynolds, folks, if you haven't heard, Maz and I are talking about this, Brian Reynolds got a 6-year, $75 million contract extension offer from Pittsburgh Pirates, which is $12.5 million per year. But they're asking for a king's ransom for the guys in a trade, but they're trying to treat the guy like he's the prince, his assistant. But they're asking for a king's ransom, so it might be wise for them to lower the asking price. If you only think he's worth $12.5 million,
why are you asking for king's ransom?
Exactly. Why are you asking for so much in a trade? They're probably trying to pull a quick one on any team that's wants to trade for him.
And Joe from the Shift, I sent you his video. I shared his video with you. But he said something that really is absolutely right on point. They have completely contradicted themselves. They want to say, oh, we want to hold on to you, and we don't want to, give you up for just nothing, but we only want to pay you $12.5 million a year. That's a joke.
It is a joke.
That's a joke. You're paying Brian Hayes more than your all-star outfielder.
Yep. And you still have for half the farm from a team.
Yep. That's insulting.
If somebody's an arbitration or pre-art player and his salary is up to $12 million because he's that good, that's one thing. But when we have a guy at this level who you want to severely underpay, that's a different story. And you're suggesting that your all-star player is worth that little?
No way. See that if that's how you think of Brian Reynolds, then why are you saying you want to hold on to him? Why do you want to keep him that badly? Why do you want to say, oh well, we don't want to we don't want to trade you, but we want to give you this? Yeah,
exactly. We want you to stay here on a very, very abbreviated contract. We want to underpay you like crazy. So it's just
that's not how that works. It's a joke.
Exactly. And shout out to Mets fans. Thank you so much for Donald, bro. Correa, any thoughts what Mets are? Right now, I think it's 50-50. I think the Mets they're willing to walk away from this. And if the Twins come in with a heavy-duty offer, I think it's probably going to have to come out with some options, or there's going to have to be some team opt-out or some kind of writing in the contract. But if the Twins come back with that monster offer, he might take it and run. I mean, I don't know. And at this point, it just looks like it stinks to high hell for me, in my opinion. Yeah. It's, it looks like Boris is just trying to pull a quick one off somebody and try to get, as little language in the contract as possible.
That's the thing. I don't think a team, after seeing the 2 failed physicals already, I don't think they're giving him more than 5-6 years, even though the average annual value will be there. I don't think he's getting more than 5 or 6 years with something in writing that protects the team. That says, if you get hurt between years 1 and 3, we can void your contract.
And I know that Boris is not going to be a fan of that. But
nope.
At this point, what are you going to do, man?
But the team needs to protect themselves from the investment that they're making, because if they don't, here's a prime example. Carl Pavano, when we signed him, he pitched maybe 6 games out of the entire contract that he was with us. He didn't pitch anything. He was on the bench the whole time.
Yep, he had a butt injury for the whole year. Like,
Yep.
it was,
Yep. So that's the thing. I think it's going to be more or less that they're going to. Boris is going to have to accept the fact that teams are going to want to protect themselves from this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because without that clause, the team is screwing themselves.
Mm-hmm. And it is nice to see Zach wearing thin a little bit. Somebody just said that. I thought it was yeah, Billy. It's cool to see Boris Zach wear thin, and you're right, man. It is wearing thin. It's nice to see him not win for a change too, and not get his way for a change because it is. So can Trout ruin it? Well, that's again. This is not a credible rumor.
No.
That's a complete speculatory. That's not going to happen, Nelson. I unfortunately I can't see it happening. I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody can.
As much as we would love to have that, it's not going to happen. We got to be realistic. I think if anything, Ohtani is going to get moved first. He'll go to the Dodgers. We know this. The Dodgers are going to play heavy favorites, and they're going to pay all the money in the world to Ohtani. It's already known. This is not anything new. And then if they decide to move Trout, he'll either go to the Mets or the Phillies.
Yeah,
he's not going to be a Yankee. And I hate to say it like that because we would all love Trout, but
Yeah, and he hasn't demanded a trade to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Another one. That hasn't been corroborated by any credible source. So
yeah,
that's another one. We're like, come on, guys, let's be serious.
Yeah,
it's just, it's not happening, man. And Ian Hawaiian, what does he say? Bader, definitely the spot. Oh yeah, I mean, at this point right now, Hawaiian, I'd bet him leadoff. If they get Brian Reynolds, I would put Brian Reynolds leadoff. But until then, I would have Bader leading off because again, he plays. He's locked into every play in the game, and we need somebody at that leadoff spot who can be locked in, focused, would be base running and whatever it is. We need somebody who can run at the top, and Bader's one of the better. Now we're heads-up base runners.
He's also one of the best defensive center fielders in this game. He's one of the best center fielders that is playing today. And I'm not trying to take away from the other center fielders, but his defense is elite. And we saw that last year when he came over and he made that diving catch on the warning track and saved 3 runs. That's a prime example.
My Mets fans, we follow MLB. They don't have a check on them on Twitter, right? They're not verified.
No.
Right? Yeah,
no.
So
I looked that up.
Yeah.
I had looked that up earlier, like I said. I don't like to follow sources that aren't checked, like a John Heyman or a Jeff Passan or a Jack Curry. I like to follow because they give you the reliable information. They're already inside. They already know. They already get that scoop. So if they put it out, I'm more likely to believe what that says rather than, something like MLB scoops or something.
Yep. Honestly, if the news was legit and had teeth, all those guys would be reporting it. And not one of them is. So that's where it gets a little dicey depending on, and then, then you have some channels that run with this stuff too. And it's just, it's at some point you don't know who to believe because people put out baloney propaganda and they pawn it off as truth. So, but it's just, again, it's people, that's what people do, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Again,
it's not about quantity. It's about quality.
Yeah, man. Just be accurate, man. Be accurate and honest. Like, it's not a hard thing to do, and it's not a bad thing to do. So, interest in Profar. Yeah, I mean, it sounds as if they're interested in 80, but the problem is with his recent production, they're not going to be able to get him for $3 million, and they are $3 million under the Cohen threshold. So, that's why I think a trade is still the most likely move for the Yankees. What do you think, Fortrain? What do you think?
I think that if they absolutely need a left fielder and they absolutely need Profar, they will pivot to him if they can't get a deal done for Reynolds. That's what I've been hearing. Reynolds, from what I've heard, is still their number one target. That is still the number one priority, getting Reynolds to the Bronx. And if they can get Bednar on a deal, great. And if they can't, they'll go out and find someone else.
Right.
Brian Reynolds is their number one target. And this is coming from Passan. This is coming from Heyman, Curry, everybody. So that's got some teeth to it.
Yeah, exactly. And he should be the number one choice. He's the best option available to them in a trade. So that's what we know right now about Profar, Aiden. Not recently, Derek, but we have stuff coming up with Derek backstage. So we have stuff coming up with him and I'm going to be working on something together. Any news on Chafin, D-Rod? No news that we know of right now. How the Yankees getting out hopes up high now? Well, there's still time, Jonathan. And this is the other thing, and I gotta give ding the Yankees a little bit for saying they were working on something big. There's still time for that, but I wouldn't put that out to begin with. And I'm surprised, and I don't know who put that out because it wasn't Cashman that said that. So whether it was Yankee beat writers, and this is the other problem: Yankee beat writers put out stuff, and it gets people pumped up and fired up and whatnot, and then when it turns out to not be true, people blame the Yankees. They blame Cashman and Hal. Like, we don't hear Cashman and Hal leaking this stuff. So, but I get the expectation for the Yankees doing something big. And again, I don't remember who put out that the Yankees were working on something big. I think it was some beat writers, right?
It was.
Yeah, so it's
the headlines was Yankees working on something bigger than Rodon himself.
Yeah, and I understand, like Hal said, there's still work to be done. There's still room for moves. Okay, that's refreshing to hear. But again, keep in mind, the Yankees also work late into the offseason as well. They do stuff towards the end of it as well. And they might not have it sounds like the Pirates haven't received an offer that they like yet. We don't even know if the Yankees put out a real offer for them. We don't know. We're just hearing proposals and all this.
There's nothing reported about that.
Yeah, so there's nothing.
I do have a feeling eventually it's going to come down to who gives them the best offer. Now, whether or not that's going to include pitching prospects, that's a different ballgame. Now you're opening up a whole nother can of worms. Yeah. What I think is going to happen is the Yankees will get Reynolds, but they're going to have to include a Schmidt, a Gil or Garcia, right. Possibly a Herman, possibly a Beater. They're going to have to include a couple of those guys to make that deal sweeter. But I do think they will get it done.
And that to me is that solidifies a really good season. Mike is currently in yes backstage. Yeah, he's got his fatigues on right now. So yes, he is. He's still active, man. Mike is still active backstage. So yeah, Heyman and Buster Olney was putting this stuff out. So again, Yankees beat writer, but that's why I think it's important. If I don't hear from Cashman, but if I hear from Curry and Passett and some of those guys, like I trust those guys only on occasion. But they're working on something big. There was so many different interpretations of it because it was fed all different ways to people. So, David, opinion on Soto to the Phillies. I mean, it's a good trade for the Phillies. They got better. And bringing in last week, they got better. I think it would have been a nice fit for the Yankees, but I don't even know. Maybe they're comfortable with what they have. I would still bring in another lefty for the bullpen, but maybe they're happy with what they have. We just don't know. We don't know. So, what is this Yankees have done anything right so far, Judge? Yeah, I mean, the Yankees have had a good offseason too. And I would agree getting Reynolds to complete a stellar offseason. I mean, definitely a stellar offseason. You get Reynolds, I'd be really, really happy if they got Reynolds. I think Maz and I both would be pretty damn ecstatic. If we got Reynolds.
Here's that speculation to get back to the whole Crochet thing. It would be Crochet for Torres. We would get a reliever.
Say that again. You froze there.
It would be Crochet for Torres straight up. It would be Torres going to Chicago, Crochet coming to the Yankees. They get their second baseman. We get a reliever.
Okay.
That's what I'm reading.
That would be good value for Torres. I would take Crochet over Pablo Lopez from the Marlins. I would do it.
Yeah. I don't know how true that is though, but that's what I'm guessing would be. I don't think that there are going to be a lot of fans happy from Chicago if that happens, but they need a second baseman. They can always develop another reliever. I mean, yes, I get it. They drafted him, but sometimes to get something, you got to give something.
Mm-hmm. So Iron Hawaiian, who's my choice to go on a trade for Spencer Dominguez?
Dominguez.
Dominguez.
That's not even a question.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I know the Yankees said that they were reluctant to give up Volpe, Peraza, and Dominguez.
Yeah.
I think they're more hesitant to give up Peraza and Volpe in a trade. And they would much rather give up a Dominguez in a deal.
Mm-hmm.
This front line a package, just because it gives them that leniency and not having to dig into their shortstop pool, and it keeps the two shortstops they really want up in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm. If they can keep Volpe and Peraza and have them play short and second at some point, that'd be a dynamic duo. I mean, really, really, really good. I mean, really, really good. Cactus Jack, it's a pleasure.
I think that's.
Cactus
I
Jack.
think that'll be the thing that Dominguez will be the headliner of that trade.
Yeah, most definitely, man. You're welcome, Cactus Jack. Thank you for your support, bro. We keep it informal. We keep it just honest, straight up conversation between fans, and we're looking to continue to grow. Like on the road to, I mean, I'm hoping to get to 20,000 subscribers by the time spring training starts. So we'll see. And we're trying to get Mazza and Train Express monetized now too. So anybody who supports this channel, I hope you support Train Express as well. We're going to continue to do this stuff, fun, informal videos. And speaking of informal videos, I have a trivia question I wanted to share with you. All right. So let's see who can get this. Don't Google yet. All right. Don't Google it. I know people are going to probably Google it, but let's see who doesn't Google it. Who is the oldest team in Major League Baseball history? The George Burns of baseball.
I got a good one too. After that, we get answers for this.
4 Train's got one, and that's my trivia question for the night. 4 Train's got one up next. Anybody? Let's see what the comments say. Put some comments in the Red Sox. Close, Benji, close.
I was going to say the Red.
Young. They are. I mean, they're old. Obviously, the Red Sox. Right? Cincinnati Red Stockings. No, not them. Chicago Cubs. No. You would think. I mean, they're all sensible. The Red Sox Pilgrims. What the freak? Nah. What I think? Yeah, Tanaka re-signed here in Japan. So good for him. Pittsburgh Reds, Dodgers. What do you think, Mazza? What do you think?
I'll say the Braves.
Oh, Billy Branch and Braves. It's Mazza and the Braves. You both got it right. The Atlanta Braves. They're the oldest team in history. I was just going to give a hint. I was going to say the Yankees beat them twice in the 1990s in the World Series. And that would have probably.
So here's my trivia question.
All right, 4 Train's got a trivia question now. Let's go. Come on, give it to us, baby.
Who is the only pitcher to win a World Series game in 3 different decades?
It's a World Series game. To win a World Series game in 3 different decades. Anybody? Give your answers in the comments too, gang. The only pitcher to win a World Series game in 3 different decades. Jack Morris.
No.
I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna say Tom Seaver.
I'll give you a hint if you want.
I'm gonna say Tom Seaver.
You want a hint?
All right, I have a hint.
Pitch for the Baltimore Orioles.
Jim Palmer.
Yep.
Yeah, baby.
3 different decades he won a World Series game.
I didn't realize he played that long.
Well, he could have pitched at the end of one, made the World Series, won a game, gone into the next one, won a game in the World Series, and then went into one more, won a game, and then saw his way out.
So he could have played 12 years and been in 3 decades. That's true.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a good one, man.
I got it.
You're going to say Jim Palmer. Look at that, baby. But it doesn't count now. It counts. It counts, man. Even if you got second or whatever, it counts, man. 69, 70, and 83. Sports Center. Those are the years, too.
Yeah.
Christy. These are all good answers. Palmer, Mantle 7 got him. Verlander now. Verlander, I think, is thrown in the World Series game in 2 decades, but not. Well, actually, Was he with Tigers when they played in the World Series? I think he was. Clemens, no, Nolan Ryan. Clemens drew in 86, 99. Was he on the team in 2000?
I don't think he was.
I don't know, but you said won a World Series game, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah. He got lit up a few times in the World Series, too. So I would say in 2 decades.
But anyways,
that's a good one, man. I like it.
Yeah. I did have something that I saw the other day. I don't know how much teeth it has. It might have some. But I've been hearing that there are a couple other teams in on Reynolds. But the interest isn't as strong as the Yankees. So the teams that I've heard are the Braves, the Rangers,
I saw the
Dodgers,
Mariners,
the Mariners, and the Yankees.
I think if with the Yankees it's Reynolds or bust.
Yeah.
I mean, and if it's
I don't think the Dodgers are going to trade for Reynolds or they're going after Ohtani. I doubt that's going to happen. You and I both, I would think, would agree that would be the logical sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think if the Yankees don't get Brian Reynolds, it's got to be Oswaldo Cabrera at that point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Seth Brown, he's from Oakland A's. I think the only guy they want to trade for, honestly, is probably Brian Reynolds. I'd be surprised if they trade for someone else. Would I be disappointed if they just if they didn't get someone to trade? It's got to represent an upgrade. And the outfield, Reynolds is an upgrade over Cabrera and Hicks. So,
yes.
This is the piece, man, for the Yankees. This is the piece, man.
I think that Sabian and Mania are going to help Cash go and make that deal, because I think after hearing that they're contradicting themselves, Pittsburgh, you better believe Sabian and Mania are going to feast on that all day long.
Yeah, you got that right. Damn right. We got another one here, man. Look at this, Mantle 7. Who's the only player to win 3 batting titles in 3 different decades? I'm going to say Ty Cobb because I think he won batting titles like all the time.
That's what I'm going to say.
I'm going to go Ty Cobb. Mantle 7. No? Okay, not Cobb. Pete Rose. Pete Rose is possible.
Yeah, could go Pete Rose, but I think Ty Cobb was more likely to do it.
Oh, well, now we got some. We got Boggs, we got Tony Gwynn, Brett, Rod Correa. These are all good answers, actually. Oh, Brett. It's George Brett? Okay. All right. Any of these guys I would have. I'm surprised I didn't think of these guys. Ted Williams. Ty Cobb won 12 in 13 years. Did he really? Jesus. 12 batting titles in 13. That's
Here's another trivia question for you. Who is the first player, major league player, to reach 4,000 career hits?
The first major league player to reach 4,000 career hits in strictly major league games. Ty Cobb.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Ty Cobb and Pete Rose, and then Ichiro did it, but you have to combine baseball and Japan together. He had 4,000 something too. It's Cobb, right?
Yep.
41.91, and then Tom. What did Pete Rose have? 42.56, I think. Pete Rose is the all-time hits leader now, Evan. Yeah. Who was the only hitter to hit 300 both left-handed and right-handed? Eddie Murray? Sure. Is it Eddie Murray? T-Cub. Yeah, Devers. That's another one, guys. If you haven't heard, I mean, Devers signed it was 11 years, $330 million extension with the Boston Red Sox. So they locked him up long term. If you haven't heard,
they made up for their blunder with Bogarts.
Yes, they did.
So before they locked up Devers, I said they had no future. They didn't, because what direction were they going in?
Agreed.
Yeah, great. They have Verdugo, but they lost Bogarts, and now the whole thing with Devers is unsure because We don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not. Then they go up and lock him. Now they might have a chance to have somewhat of a future in that city for that team.
Yeah, and if I'm them, I'm locking up Verdugo too. Now, like he's a good player. He deserves
I don't know.
That's right. I don't know if he will, but he's a good builder.
Yeah.
They traded him. They traded Mookie for him. So.
Yep.
Who was the switch hitter to reach 2,000 hits? Switch hitter to reach Bernie Williams. Bernie Williams, Matchy. Rogers Hornsby 424. Yeah. I think it was Bernie Williams, right? Did he have 2,000 hits? I
believe he did. Yeah.
Let's get that. I'm really curious. Bernie Williams. And he was definitely a switch hitter. Let's see stats. Yeah, 2,336 hits, 287 home runs. He batted 297. That was almost a 300 career hitter. So, and he played 17 years. 17 years. So,
I met Bernie Williams.
What's that?
I met Bernie Williams.
Did you really?
Yeah. My mom, when I was younger, he was playing a concert or a jazz concert over at some hotel or somewhere. And I got to go there, and I actually got to meet him.
That's cool, man. Very cool. Gifted musician, I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's Trent
He can really play that guitar, man.
Oh, yeah. Is Trent Grisham to the Yankees? Yeah, it's possible, but not. I think it's, on the list of most likely, it's probably near the bottom of the list. But he's got a good glove. He had a hot bat this offseason. And this guy Seth Brown, who I just mentioned from the Oakland A's, are probably. They're possible, but the likeliness. I think the Yankees are putting all their chips in the Brian Reynolds bag right now to see if it's actually going to pan out. And if it doesn't, then they got to pivot. They have to do something.
I was going to say that the chances of them pivoting from Brian Reynolds when they've made this much progress from what it sounds like, very unlikely. Because Brian Sabian and Omar Minaya both know the Pirates very well from being in the National League. They know how they like to do business. So,
true.
You better believe they're going to be, in Cashman's ear about that.
Got that right. Is it Reynolds? No, it's not dead. George Silva. It's not dead. I think he's quietly lurking in the weeds to strike Brian Cashman. And like Mike said, too, I think bringing in Minaya and Sabian can help get him to the finish line, I think. So that deal is not dead until he's traded somewhere else or unless the Pirates say he's not being moved now. I don't think Cedric Mullins is being moved, at least not to the Yankees. I heard him talk with the Marlins and the Orioles. Aiden, if he gets moved, it might be to the Marlins or something like that. So, yeah, this is the thing, Drew. Omar wasn't a great GM. He was a better GM with the Expos than he was with the Mets. It was just a horrible situation. But again, his specialty is identifying talent, drafting and scouting, and all that stuff, player development. So he was responsible for Sammy Sosa, Juan Gonzalez, like some of the best. And those are the types of talents he identifies. So he won't be a GM here, but he's going to bring a dynamic, this player development, scouting, and drafting that Cashman knows needs improvement. Okay, it's going to bring a different look to analytics. So I'm very excited about him and Brian Sabian being here because they're going to bring. It's going to be to me, it's a three-headed monster now. Cashman, Sabian, and Minaya. Attacking you from all different angles. So I think they'll draft better because one of the other problems that the Yankees have had is they've drafted high rounds and brought in international players, and a lot of them turn out to be busts, right? So this is where these types of guys can really help the Yankees get better. And I think it's a good move for the Yankees. It was and these are two Cashman signings. These are not Hal signings.
No,
this isn't catering to his ego. If it was a Cashman ego thing, he wouldn't have brought these guys in. So he knows he needs some more expert eyes on things.
I
Can't do
just want to put this out there, but about like 3 or 4 days ago, or might have been even a little bit a week ago, every major sports reporter that you and I get our information from, like Jeff Passan, John Heyman, Jack, all of them, were saying they do not expect Reynolds to be in a Pirates uniform at the start of spring training.
Yep.
They expect him to be dealt. All of ESPN is saying it. All of MLB Network is.
Yep. It's true. Even Pirates beat writers are saying it too. Pirates writers are saying they don't expect him to be on the team. So,
and that thing that I sent you with the Pirates beat writer, where he was talking about it and how they were saying that the Yankees are the best fit for him. I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago I sent you it on the Pittsburgh Gazette. Yeah. That right there should show you that everybody doesn't believe what the Pirates are saying. Because the Pirates have made such a joke out of themselves.
It's true. And this offer just shows what a joke. I mean, I think that's one reason why Reynolds wants out of there. They're like, I can't play him, man.
That's like the Yankees saying to Judge, we're only going to offer you 6 for 150.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a slap in the face.
Yeah, and he would have been right to laugh in their face and walk away.
Yep.
Oh. Sean Browning, trivia question. Who was the first player? I think it's Lou Gehrig. And if I remember correctly, he came up a 5th time and hit the ball off the top of the wall. It would have been 5 home runs, but it was 4 home runs and a double.
It was Lou Gehrig, and it was against the Philadelphia Athletics at Shebe Park.
Yep. Yep. 6 Grand Slams, 1 season. That's Don Mattingly, Mantle 7. He had 6. Right?
I believe it was Donnie Baseball.
Donnie Baseball. And then he also had he homered in 8 consecutive games, which he tied Dale Long, and then Luke. I think it might have been Ken Griffey Jr. tied him.
I think so.
Yes, I mean, this is what we're hearing now, guys. This is what we're hearing again. And in terms of Bryant, like asking any team for a king's ransom, but wanting to pay him on the cheap, just shows that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Pirates. It's just they don't know what they're doing. It's a slap in the face. And you know for a fact Brian Reynolds is not going to accept that when he can get 100 on the market. There's no way. There's no way. So I don't know what they're trying to do.
Especially when Cabrian Hayes just got an 8-year, $70 million contract extension. There's no way he's going to accept that.
Yeah, and he's in pre-arb. So it's
not only is he pre-arb, and he has 3 controllable seasons left, but he's an all-star.
Yeah. This is a big mistake by the Pittsburgh Pirates, man.
Pirates are a joke. They really are the epitome of the laughing stock of baseball.
They are. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And again, I honestly hope Cashman fleeces them, man.
I really feel bad for that fan base. I really feel for that fan base with what that ownership is doing.
Great city.
I feel bad. I feel for them.
Yeah.
And yes, Fernando Tatis did get cleared for baseball activities. I did hear that.
Yep, and so did Trevor Bauer. He's been DFA'd now by the Dodgers. He's out.
Yep.
He'll get picked up by someone. The Dodgers are going to have to pick up $21 million of his salary.
Jesus.
So, yeah, they have. No matter what, they have to eat the salary.
Yep.
Somebody's going to get him on the major league minimum. Somebody will pick him up.
Yep.
Somebody pick him up. So,
I have a feeling a team. I have a feeling a team like Minnesota or Baltimore might take that chance. Just because they are trying to get better and because of where they are right now. I don't know if you heard, but Minnesota's getting brand new uniforms.
Yeah. They unveiled them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. They look really nice.
Yeah, they look really cool. And they made a couple of moves this offseason. Christian Vasquez, one of them. A good patcher to kind of help that rotation out.
I don't know if you remember on my live stream, but that you and Hillel were on. I want to give credit to Hillel, by the way, because if you haven't checked the channel out, you're going to want to do so.
He's 13 years old. This is a Ken Rosenthal in the making.
I'm telling you right now, everyone in the chat, check his channel out. In the next couple of weeks, you are not going to want to miss it. I promise you that. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. But Hillel mentioned a very interesting scenario. Corbin Burns to Baltimore.
Yeah,
I could see.
I did see that. That's pretty. If they get Corbin Burns and they have the pieces to get him, that would be a huge deal. I would expect Cedric Mullins to go back in part of that trade because I know he's on.
I could see Cedric Mullins going back as part of that deal, but they get Corbin Burns. You better believe they are going to give Tampa, Toronto, and the Yankees a run for their money.
Yep.
They get Corbin Burns.
They missed the postseason by one game. One game.
They weren't even projected to be that high.
Yep.
That's a scary team. Mind you, they have Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, who's a switch-hitting beast.
Yep.
And then they've got Grayson Rodriguez in the minors just sitting there waiting to get the call.
Yep.
Now imagine you get Corbin Burns and call up Grayson Rodriguez. Forget it. You've got one of the best 1-2 punches in the game.
Yep. They are just putting the pieces together little by little, putting them together. And it's going to be, I mean, they're going to be fun to watch, man. And they are already fun. I like watching Rutschman and some of these other guys. So
Baltimore's going to give teams fits next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a team. That's not a team to sleep on. I could see them getting a wild card next year. Them and Seattle.
I could see it too. Yeah, I think it's going to be Yankees, Toronto, and Baltimore occupying the top 3 spots in the AL East. And I don't know order. Hopefully, that's the order. Yankees on top, but we'll see. But
the Yankees, to their credit, did get better by getting Rodon. So
yes, they did.
And re-signing Judge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so we can't take that away from them.
Just please finish this out by bringing us Brian Reynolds for a late Christmas present. I mean, really. We really want him. And why is Greinke nuts? Well, Benji. Excuse me.
Injuries.
He has a limited amount of markets that he can handle. Injuries. Yeah, I mean, he's just not as. He's still serviceable, but he's not as good as he was 7 years ago. So
I think a team that just wants experience and wants a pitcher on the cheap will take him.
He'll get picked up by somebody. He will. Yep. It'll be a low-key environment and a team that's like maybe up and coming that he can help mentor some of the pitchers starting in relief and act as a good and a reliable piece, but at the same time a mentor for young kids. And they have a lot of those teams out there that need a guy like that. So I think he'll get picked up.
Yeah, he will. Just
low pressure environment too.
Yeah,
so
that's what I think because I guess he has some anxiety disorder where he can't deal with pressure.
Yeah, that's why he went to New York essentially, because New York would have eaten him alive.
Yeah, LA. Or he was in LA though, which I don't understand. If he's got such an anxiety disorder, why would you go to the Dodgers?
And he was dominant too.
Yeah,
dominant too. When he would get signed with that big deal with the Diamondbacks, he was dominating. And then, I don't know, man. And Houston, he was also he was the number 3 behind Cole and Verlander.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty formidable.
That's impressive.
Pretty formidable friggin' rotation. So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. You're really good. But he's let's pull him up here because I want to see if he's Hall of Fame, if he's close to the Hall. Zach Greinke. Let's see if he's close to the Hall. Excuse me for the yawning. A very long day. So 223 wins, 141 losses, a 3.42 ERA. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Strikeouts. 2,882. So you get 118 strikeouts to get 3,000. That's generally a benchmark to Hall of Fame as well. So he might stick around until he gets 3,000. He might.
Jason, I'm gonna.
What's that? You froze.
I'm gonna send you the link to my channel, so then you can put it in the chat form because I can't do it.
Got it. Put in the comments. Good evening, Chicken Palm, baby. What's up, Chicken Farm? Yeah, the Dodgers and the Padres have apparently showed interest in Aroldis Chapman. I don't know if they put forth offers yet, but they showed interest. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I think at the end of the day, he's probably going to go to the Marlins.
All right, I just sent it to you.
All right, let's see if when it pops up here. Oh, would you put it in the private chat? Okay, here we go. All right, this is edit. This is Fortrain Express's the link to his channel. So if you wouldn't mind, it's a great gesture. When you subscribe to somebody's channel, we find it. We're very grateful for anybody that shows interest in our channel and that finds our content valuable and informative. So subscribe to our channel is greatly appreciated. So if you wouldn't mind supporting Mike Mazza, we're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So it's greatly appreciated. So the link is right here. I'm going to put it up here. There it is. Rookie Ed Whitson. Yeah, Ed Whitson was a tester. Yeah. How many years? Montez is free agent after 2023. Jonathan B. Let me put that link back up here. That's Fortrain Express channel right there. And smash that like button if you want. Let's try to get to 100 likes. Franchise, thank you for subbing the Fortrain. We appreciate it. Grace, thank you for subscribing. Yeah. See if we can get 25 or 30 subscribers here. Your channel. If you don't mind, subscribe. Mark, thank you, Mark. We appreciate it, man. Thank you. Donovan Solano, Cesar Hernandez. For what, Mets fans? For what position are you talking about? Mancini. Thank you, Sean Browning, for subscribing. Yeah, if you folks wouldn't mind. I'm going to try to get 25 or 30 subs here. Thank you. Looks like we got about 5 already. So, yeah, I think we all hope Montez has a good year. I think he's going to be their number 5. Thank you, David Herrera. Appreciate subscribing there.
He's also not going to have as much pressure on him. Now that he's got 2 other Bulldogs ahead of him, he doesn't have to feel like, now I got to do this all on my own. And you know what? That's going to really be the key to his success this year. I really truly believe Montas is going to have a bounce back.
I agree. Oh, by the way, gang, just as an FYI, I showed Mazza this too. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? 161 Mafia is coming through. Speaking of 161 Mafia, thank you for subscribing, Chicken Parm. Thank you, Stephen B, for subscribing too. We appreciate it. Looks like we got 7 or 8 subscribers already here from Mazza. So let's try to get to 20.
Appreciate that. I appreciate all of you for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, too, man. Thank you. I just finalized the logo for merch. And we've had a lot of requests of asking for merch. And I think we're going to start with hoodies and baseball caps. But I showed Fortrain the logo. And you liked it? What did you think?
That was such a badass logo. That is awesome. And the colors just scream Yankees. It's just as in-your-face Yankees. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to say 161 Mafia. Let me see if I could show you guys here. It's on the phone. All right, see if you can see this. But you see the train pulling into Yankee Stadium there?
That's fantastic.
This is going to be a logo similar to that. Pulling into Yankee Stadium with the 161 River Apps. Going to have the name of the channel on there. And we're going to start with hoodies and hats. Since we're going into hoodie season, we'll start with those, and then we'll branch out to T-shirts and probably skull caps or something like that. But that's what the logo is going to look like right now, at least. And we'll see how that goes.
That's fantastic, man. That's great. That's an awesome logo. And I don't know if you.
It's going to be custom made too. It's going to be customized stuff, so it's going to be good quality stuff. So thank you, Evan.
I don't know if you got a chance to see my new logo as well, the one that I just revamped my channel with, but I felt that was more. It's a new year. Gotta get the channel up and vamped up. Do what I can. But yeah, I'm right there with you on getting stuff rolling, getting everything going. So,
boy. It's not yet a Big Mac apple pie, Robert, but I'll tell you this. If we get to 20,000 subscribers before spring training, if there's anybody who hasn't subscribed, I hope that you do. If we get to 20K before spring training, I will put out a Big Mac and apple pie, some type of merch, whether it's something. I'll put out whether it's a T-shirt or something, and I'll have 161 River Ave logo, so you know exactly it's the 161 River Ave, 161 Mafia special. We'll call it something like that. We'll get it done.
Jason,
I swear.
if the Yankees, if and when the Yankees get Brian Reynolds, that also calls for a Big Mac apple pie.
Well, that's gonna be it. I'll be stuffing one down my face if that happens on the channel. So, yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen Big Trouble in Little China when the guy's exploding at the end, his face gets really fat. That's what my face is gonna look like. Because I'm gonna eat it in like 17 seconds. I'm gonna just shove it in my face. They trade for Brian Reynolds. I swear to God. So I might keep that, you know, whatever. But that's definitely gonna be a Big Mac apple pie celebration if they sign. Oh yeah.
You know what's funny though is just to get back to the whole subscriber thing for a second. When I started my live that day that I got to 100, I was at like 98 or 99 or something like that. And I'm talking to Hillel, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, you know you have 100 subscribers." I'm like, "What?
Yeah,
No way!"
You find it out like during a live stream.
Which is like,
yeah.
I'm like, "There's no possible way." He's like, "Yeah, check your phone." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" 100.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "What?"
It's
like you don't actually believe it until you see it. It's like, my God.
It's kind of cool. Like, I mean, I would love to get to 20K on a live stream or something like that. It'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
We could celebrate together, man.
You get the 20K on a live stream. You get the 20K on a live stream. On your very next one, I will have a Big Mac and apple pie just for it.
If I'm close, right? Let's just say I'm 25 subs away going into the live stream. I'm going out to get the Big Mac and apple pie. Have it ready for the live stream and I'm gonna campaign like crazy for it.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna pound that thing so fast it's gonna be ridiculous. Out of curiosity, how did you find the name 162 River Ave? No, it was 161 River Ave was the address of the original Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
And I just got the phrase 161 River Ave trademarked. So it's
Did
mine.
You really?
Yeah. And so I own it. And
that's awesome.
Nobody can duplicate it on merch or anything else. So that's my trademark now. And
how do you get it trademarked? That's pretty cool.
You have to go to you have to go to Trademark Finder and see if anybody has it trademarked, and then you go through the application process, and then it essentially becomes legally yours if it's not trademarked officially. So it does this massive search globally, and if there's nobody has it, then you can essentially buy the trademark. So that's why
is it cheap though, like to apply and everything, or?
Well, I got the deluxe. It was like $150, but it's worth it at that point to get it. Yeah. It's mine now. So
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, and to get it on merch and things like that. So, and I really wanted to, because we work really hard on this channel, and I wanted to get that. I wanted that to be mine. So to make kind of round it out, because the channel, is mine, and I want the trademark to be mine. So, like 4-Train Express, that's pretty dope, man. I would look to see if that's trademarked.
I definitely want to see if that's trademarked.
Yeah, you know what? Hang on one second. I'm gonna look right now. Right. It's not a minute to find out. Swear to God, I'm sure. Let's see. Believe me, I was giddy when I found out it wasn't trademarked. I'm telling you, I was on Goofy. Trademark search. It's official USTPO registration. Let's see. 4-Train Express. Congratulations. No registered trademarks found for 4-Train Express.
That is awesome. So now I may have to do it just to make it so that it's mine. Because you know what's funny is I was thinking about it and I was like, what could I do to make like the channel name up just for the hell of it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Wait a minute. The 4-Train runs right by there. It's an express train. 4-Train Express. Boom. There you go.
What are you doing, Army? BSU. Blow shit up. What do you do in the Army? He's asking Benji.
Oh, what do I do in the Navy? I work on fighter jets.
There you go, Benji. But I think he likes to blow. I think he likes to blow shit up too. So I know I would if I was in the Navy.
Well,
that's all. That's what
Yeah.
that's what he does in the Navy. Works on fighter jets and stuff. So pretty damn cool. Don't forget the
But
Tom's
right now, I'm not in my parent shop. I'm in the shooter shack, so I get to troubleshoot discrepancies on the run, and I get to fix them. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
I can, hook up to a jet, talk to the air crew, hear all the transmissions. It's fun.
So you hit up Benji. He's essentially saying he's a dangerous dude. Don't mess with him. That's essentially what he's saying. All right, David. That's the plan to make some shirts. We're gonna start with hoodies, and then depending on how much interest we get, we'll go to t-shirts because it's an easy. I have my buddy. I have a guy already doing graphics on it and embroidery and stuff like that. We're testing the patterns out. So, and the color pattern is going to be like navy blue. So that's Yankee colorish. So it's going to pop on white shirts.
That's awesome though. That I still can't get over how cool that logo is. That just screams Yankees.
Yeah,
that's the perfect fit.
I was excited when this dude got me back to the design. I was like, dude, the first chance, so like that's hot. That pops, man. That pops. Anthony will do a hot dog. I would never. I wouldn't even be in the top 50. Like Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi, I would get demolished.
There's no. We wouldn't win that. It's not. I'm just take it. Go take it. I don't need it.
Dude, this dude eats like 70 hot dogs.
He eats like 50 in 3 minutes. I mean, the guy's insane.
Yeah. He has a YouTube channel, and he goes
Does
all
he
around.
really?
Yeah, he has the world record for Big Macs. He ate like 32 Big Macs.
How?
I swear to God. Go to Joey Chestnut and Big Mac. You see the video of him eating all the Big Macs. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous, man.
He's nuts.
Cool. Yeah. So we got Barron needs to be given. I mean, he's going to get Michael. He's going to get a chance somewhere.
Yeah.
That I'm confident of. I just don't know if the Yankees want that type of potential drama here, and we still don't know whether he's still beefing with Garrett Cole. Like,
yeah,
it's UCLA. So
not something I'm willing to.
Yeah,
it's not something I really want to do, especially now that the team chemistry is starting to come into fruition and just fold nicely. I don't want to mess that up at this point. I think it's too valuable too.
Yeah, we need good chemistry here, man. Guys will be working on, clicking on all cylinders. We need that here.
Hayden asked if you would get a Reynolds jersey if the Yankees got him.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. We've been talking about this guy for a year, so there's no way I'm not going to get his jersey. Like, I gotta get it.
Oh, absolutely.
Big Mac and Apple Pie Live, dude. If they get Brian Reynolds, I'm doing a Big Mac and Apple Pie Live. When we were
absolutely,
I think when I got to 10,000 subscribers, I did 2 Big Macs and Apple Pies.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
That took a little while to do, but I pounded 2 of them.
Yeah, you split the apple. You had 1 apple pie and 2 Big Macs. You split the apple pie in half, put each half on the Big Mac on each Big Mac, and you just scarfed it down.
And all that weight goes right to my belly and my ass. Thankfully, you only see my head in these things, so it's. Yeah. I feel it after, but I also I fast. I change my diet for the week leading up to it, so I don't feel too bad afterward. So, this is like a cheat. This is not something I do regularly. No. I eat pretty clean. I work out religiously, and I do all that stuff. So but this is a cheat. This is the 161 cheat special. So, and it's got to be done. These are special.
It absolutely has to be. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah, it's a special occasion, and that's, to me, it's high class food, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I would like to. I mean, I'm a little further than a walk from Peter Luger's. I would get one of their burgers, but it's a little bit of a drive for me. But I don't even know if Peter Luger's open that late. Actually, they are, because I had dinner there once at 11 o'clock at night in Brooklyn. So they're open late. And they have the best steak in the world, too. Yeah. So their steak is out of this world.
Absolutely.
Iron Hawaiian is a trademark. It's not that expensive, but it's worth it if you want to protect something like, the way that the channel's growing. I wanted to trademark that name to make sure it was protected legally. So,
and as soon as I hit a higher mark in subs, I'm probably going to do the same thing.
do it.
I also want to grow my channel first before I do any of that.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Just to put it out there, I'm working on a couple of projects now. I already told you about it. But as soon as I get everything ironed out and hashed out, all of you are invited to come check it out. But there is one thing that I will be doing is making my channel, or I will be working to make the channel grow and branch out. So then that way we can get to where, Jason's at, because that's what the ultimate goal is.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to get to that point. I want any member of the 161 that's working hard on the channel. I definitely want to help him grow or her grow. So we definitely want to stay supporting of Mike Mazin and the 4Train Express. Man, it's important. And again, that's kind of how we do things here. We help our people, man. So, and it's a good deed, man. It always feels good to be able to help. And we thank you for the guys and gals who subscribed to his channel a little bit ago. So we appreciate that. We really do.
Also, if you haven't subscribed to Hillel's Backstage Baseball, do so. Because I can promise you now, just wait in the next couple of weeks, there's gonna be a lot of good stuff coming out.
He's going places, this kid, man.
He is going to be the next Jeff Passan when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. He is very good at what he does.
Yeah, man. Mazel tov, Udall. Go get some rest, bro. And thank you also too, brother.
Udall, you get better, man. You get yourself healed up. We need you back on the battlefield there, soldier.
Yeah, man. We need you back out there, man. And keep doing what you're doing. Keep fighting a good fight, brother. Go get some rest, man. I'm gonna shut this down in a few minutes anyway. I took my daughters to a birthday party, and I want to get the kids' germs off of me, so I gotta take another shower. Like germs everywhere, man. These kids sneezing and snot everywhere, so it's like, you know the deal.
I got 2 kids of my own, and I know the deal.
Just booger picking, booger flinging, just
everything.
What's this? Your cousin was a copy and patent lawyer, depending on the item it could cost me. Oh yeah, for patents, yes, patents are not cheap. I know that one because I've got a patent with a friend of mine. So, and it costs thousands of dollars to get a patent, and you're not guaranteed to get it. They could come back and say you need to make revisions to the patent. You have to reapply. So, but you're absolutely right. Patents are not cheap. They're not cheap.
Trademarks are a little easier, it seems like.
Trademarks, yeah. It's essentially a phrase. There's like design patents, there's mechanic, like all different types of patents. So, and that's a whole different. And patents they last about 20 years also. So I send the hood, dude. If I get one of these hoodies made, I would love to send one to them. Send one to them. One of them would actually wear it one day and come on the channel. Would be kind of cool. That would be dope, man. Look at
that would be.
You would have worked on F4 safety equipment. Nice, dude.
That's awesome, man.
Jonathan, just go to trademark search in Google, and there's an official trademark search website, like a search engine for trademarks. But just write a trademark search in Google, and it's like one of the first things that comes up. And it's a legal website and everything. And let me just I'll give you the exact name of the channel. Of the website. It's trademarkgenius.com. And then I think there's another one called trademarkengine.com. You can even go to LegalZoom and look there. Legal websites too. So that's kind of the best route to do it. But dude, if they sold our merch in Yankee Stadium, it would be ecstatic.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Can you imagine that? Oh
you walk into Yankee Stadium one day and see all your merch there. It's just like, what?
I think I faint.
No. You know how much money you can make off?
It's gonna be nuts, man.
Hey, back up that Brinks truck.
Yeah,
that's what they should do.
How much? I'm gonna go to Shark Tank. Mark Cuban, man. I want $400 million for 5% of my company. Well, what? Yeah, that's what I said, man. You heard me. Start yelling at Mark Cuban. Stupid, man. Come on.
Oh, Jesus. The amount of fun you would have with that.
Oh, God. It would be crazy. Big Mac, apple pie logo. It's got to be considered, Michael. It's got to be considered. There's a lot of folks. And we're going to have more caps, yes. We're going to start with hoodies and caps. And then we'll eventually go to probably T-shirts and skull caps and maybe mugs or something like that. Or if any of you have an idea that you might be interested in, let me know, and we'll see if there's enough interest. I'll make it. I'll get it made. So if we have enough interest.
Those travel mugs.
Travel
mugs like you can take to work and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like, who's wants? I'm like, you better be checking that out.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm telling you right now, every time I go to a Yankee game, I'm gonna have something 161 River Ave on.
Oh, you absolutely should.
I have to.
You should. You know what you should do? So you should, if you have a Yankee hat or something, go to Liz and see if they can embroider your 161 River Ave logo onto it and be like, yeah, that's mine.
When would they do that?
Huh?
Would they do that?
Yeah. If you give them the logo and you upload it for them, they could.
Oh my God. That's freaking awesome.
I used to work there. That's why I know that.
That's awesome, dude. What I'm gonna do is get like that logo on the front and maybe on the back somewhere down below, maybe on my youtube.com, but like the logo for the channel, a link for the channel is gonna be like the back of my shirt. Something like that, the back of my hoodie. So to people like, wonder what is that?
Could you imagine though if you went to Yankee Stadium with some 161 River Ave merch, and you know the guys that go around with the camera, and then you get put on camera and then you just start doing it.
I'll be standing up. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Like, who is this jabroni with this t-shirt? What is it? But guys,
hey, I mean, you got your logo out to, you got your do that, you get your channel's name out to 45,000 people.
Nuts, man. I'm gonna walk up and down every aisle at Yankee Stadium. I go to the game. Dude, looking for some girl. Oh man, I'm just promoting my channel. No, that's it, man. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everybody, thanks so much for coming on. I want to thank Fortran Express for coming on. We had a great time.
Thank you for having me.
Insights, for good intel. But this is what is going on, everybody. That's what we know is going on right now in the baseball land and the Yankee land. So pretty much the latest news for everything. And if anything else comes out that's relevant, we're both going to put it out.
Break it.
So if you haven't subscribed to the Fortran Express yet, please do. That way you don't miss good stuff. And again, he's always welcome. You're always welcome, Braun, here in the live stream.
I appreciate it. As are you on mine. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, do so now. But if anything breaks, you will get it either here, my channel, Fortran Express, or Backstage Baseball's channel first, because that's what we do. We put out the content that is, got teeth and has everything that you need to know. And if we don't have some, we will always get back to you guys with it. Just know that our channels are the places to come.
And being accurate is important to us. So we may not be the first. A lot of times we are, but we're always going to be accurate. So sometimes the first isn't always the best because it's not always the most accurate.
We're always going to double check our sources.
Yeah. Multiple. And the last
exactly.
Who would I trade if I had to? It would be Dominguez. Not that I don't like Dominguez.
In a heartbeat.
And he's replaceable. I think Spencer Jones is going to be rated higher than him. And he's the guy. He's got a high upside.
Isn't he our number 2 prospect?
Dominguez. Well, depending on who you're looking at, like USA Today Baseball.
I'm talking about Spencer Jones.
Spencer Jones is number 3 now, according to Baseball Prospectus. He knocked Dominguez down to 4. Volpe's 1, Peraza's 2, and then Spencer Jones. But then if you go to USA Today,
that's what I thought.
They're all in like the top 5 in different order. So, but I like that Spencer Jones and Baseball Prospectus is number 3 now. So, and I'm not surprised. He's gonna rocket up the system. Have a great night, everybody. Again, Happy New Year's. And again, we'll go back to our normal Saturday nights moving forward. So, but peace and love to all ears. Appreciate you all. Have a great night. Hit the likes on the way out if you don't mind. And if anything comes out, you'll be getting here. And go Giants tomorrow. Let's beat the Eagles, man. Let's go.
Giants.
Peace.
Peace.